going on, YouTube? So coming back today with my final positional rankings for my 2016 NBA draft big board, and that is my centers. And actually one of the positions that I'm more excited to talk about, I actually really like watching good fundamental post play in basketball. It's always fun for me to watch, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So at number 10 was kind of a hard one for me just because there's actually a couple guys at the bottom end here who could deserve a spot at number 10. What is his name? Peter Cornely. Yeah, Peter Cornely, the kid from France, Le Mans, something like that, and honestly got pretty impressive upside. He's got good size, but didn't quite make the cut. Same thing with, I believe it's Zhao Qi, something like that. 7'2" kid from China. Both those kids I could end up seeing getting drafted in the first two rounds. So start off with my number 10, and I've got the 7-footer from Arizona, and that is Kaleb Tarczewski. So Tarczewski, to me, actually, I think in my first mock draft I had him going as early as like the bottom end of the first round, but I don't think he's going to end up falling in there. Injury troubles have hampered him down a little too much. He's decently athletic. The biggest thing for Tarczewski is he's a good anchor in the middle. He's a good rim protector. He provides a very, very deep post presence that, like I said, when healthy and when going strong, can score. Really can score in bunches while he's been in college. Now, I think one of the bigger knocks on Tarczewski too heading into the NBA is his kind of awkward size. He is 7 foot flat, but he's rocking about the 6'10" wingspan, and I mean that's not too big of a problem. But compared to some of the other centers on here, the size isn't quite fluid where a lot of scouts would want to see it. So at number 9, I've got the 6'11" Indiana kid, and that is Thomas Bryant. So I had Thomas Bryant actually going in the mid to late second round. That's if he ends up going into the NBA draft. He is just a freshman, and he's leading a spirited Indiana charge maybe into the tournament this year. One of the, I'd say, lower key names on Indiana, just because obviously Yogi Ferrell is the biggest name on that team, but he's got an enormous wingspan at about 7'5". He's very, very good rebounder. He's a guy that I think could develop some post skills. I also think he's got a high ceiling in the NBA. Some of the bigger knocks on him is just, for one, his game just really isn't. His game just won't translate. Well, it will translate. What I'm trying to say is he's not NBA ready at all right now. I think he could use a lot more polishing on both ends of the floor. Defense isn't quite up to par yet. Like I said, the rebounding's there, but nothing really else is. But like I said, he's got good size. He's a good rebounder. Post skills will come, and like I said, high ceiling in my opinion. So at number 8, I've got the 7-footer for Purdue, and that's A.J. Hammonds. So I've got A.J. Hammonds projected as a early to mid second round pick. I think that I believe he's let me find it here. Yeah, he is a senior, so will be going into the draft this year. His stock has been up and down this year, and he's a little bit up there in age, but I think this is a kid that's a solid defensive presence, and I think he will end up going, I'd say mid-second round at the latest. So at number 7, I've got the 7'2" French product, and that's Jonathan Jean. It's either Jonathan Jean or Jonathan Jean. And this is one of the more intriguing prospects in this center class to me. I'm going to put a link in the description below to his Draft Express profile, maybe just some of his highlights. He's intriguing to me because he's kind of a rare prospect. He's right now at only about 100. It's either 195 or 200 pounds flat, and at 7'2", obviously he's got to fill out the frame quite a bit more. But this is a kid who can run the floor extremely well for a 7-footer, especially at 7'2". He's got a crazy wingspan at 7'6". He can rebound when he wants to, and I think the post moves are going to come. He's very good at catching lobs. Like I said, he's a very athletic and fluid guy for being 7'2". Got a good vertical also. So right now I've got him projected as late first to early second, just because I think he's kind of a raw raw talent right now, but like I said, I think this is a guy to keep some eyes on. He's a very intriguing prospect. So at number 6, I've got the 7-footer out of Vanderbilt. That is Damian Jones. So Damian Jones kind of burst onto the scene hot this year with Vanderbilt coming out so good to start the season. Him and Wade Baldwin kind of made names for themselves early in the season. Damian Jones, I think, has one of the best set of post moves. Is one of the best back-to-the-basket scorers in this center class. He's got good length. He uses his size very well on offense. Now, I think his defense isn't quite up to par, and Damian Jones has hit a rough patch, as has Vanderbilt, really down the stretch in SEC play. And I'm projected as a late first-round pick. I think these kind of offensive skills from a 7-footer are something that isn't taken lightly by NBA teams. He's been in the first round of both my mock drafts, and even if Vanderbilt does close out the season poorly, I think Damian Jones will still be a first-round pick. So at number 5, I have the very disappointing 6'11" Kentucky product, and that is Skal Labissiere. So Skal was really projected as the number 2 pick coming into this college basketball season. It's been a brutal, brutal season for him at Kentucky. I think it's lucky for him to still be inside someone's top 5. Some people still have him going as a lottery pick. Obviously, the upside's still there, but I don't know. It's just been brutal to watch him this year. I think, honestly, the kid's got as good upside as really anyone in this class. He can have a good jumper. Obviously, he's not NBA ready at all right now. He's decently athletic. He's got very good size. I believe he's got a wingspan above 7 feet, about 7'2". But like I said, it's just something. It's a guy that's got to start developing a little bit quicker at the end of the season to show NBA teams that he's actually worth a first-round pick. Right now, I'm projected as a late first. There's a couple people that still have him going in the late lottery. Like I said, it's a little bit up in the air right now for Skal. So at number 4, I've got the 6'10" Maryland freshman, and that is Diamond Stone. So Diamond Stone was highly recruited, has had actually a pretty good year with Maryland. He's shown to be one of the best post scorers in this draft. He's extremely fluid in the post. Seen his draft stock rise quite a bit as the season's gone along. Very strong, got very good size. 6'10" to 6'11", depending on who you ask. And he's got a good wingspan at about 7'3", 7'4". Like I said, he's got an extremely well-developed offensive game. Might not be the most overall athletic kid in the class, but I think he's decently NBA ready too. I think his skills translate extremely well to the NBA. So I think that Diamond Stone will go as high as the late lottery, maybe early 20s. I think that's where he kind of fits in, maybe around the 13 to 22 range, somewhere in there. So at number 3, I've got the 7-footer from UNLV, and that is Steven Zimmerman. So Zimmerman has good size, 7 foot, 240, and about a 7'3" wingspan. So size is obviously there. One of the best things about Zimmerman to me, watching his highlights, is his fluidity in transition. He's very good. He's a very good rim blocker. He's one of the best defensive centers in this draft, but he also has decent. He's got decent skills on the offensive end of the floor as well. It's just a center. The fact that he has developed decent size is pretty impressive. I think he has a decently high ceiling in the NBA, and measures out about a 7'3" wingspan. So, like I said, good overall size. So I am projected as a mid to late first round pick, also kind of the same area as Diamond Stone. So at number 2, I've got the 6'10" Marquette product, and that is Henry Ellenson. So to me, Ellenson is one of the best offensive centers in this draft. He's got good size. The athleticism isn't quite up to par, but he runs the floor pretty well. He's got a good jumper. He's got good post moves, and he can really get up to the rim and throw it down. I think that he obviously does have a little bit of development to go, has a high ceiling, good potential in the NBA. Not the most NBA-ready player in this draft, but a player that I think a lot of people are high on this year. He's had a very good season, and I think a guy that will end up going probably late lottery in this draft. There's been mock drafts that have him going anywhere from, I've seen him as high as 7 or 8, all the way down to maybe 24, 25. I believe he's been in the first round of both my mock drafts. I might not have had him in my first mock draft just because I didn't know if he was going to declare or not. So at number 1, I've got the 7'1" Utah, I believe, sophomore, and that's Jakob Poeltl. So I like Poeltl. I think pretty much everyone does. He's got good size. One of the best might be the best defender of any center in this class. Also, probably is the best rebounder, and he can actually. I think he can do. I think he can at least hold his own on the offensive end of the floor. I think this guy is probably the most NBA ready player in this class. Ceiling might not be as high as like a Skal Avasir, Diamond Stone, but at least on the offensive end of the floor. But like I said, I think this guy is the most defensively and fundamental sound center that there is in this class. He will give you a very, very good big presence in the middle of the floor. Like I said, good rim protector, a guy that I think will come in and start. I think he's going to be a top 10 pick in this draft, and I don't think he falls any later than maybe 12. I definitely don't think he falls out of the lottery. Alright, so that concludes my positional rankings for 2016 NBA Draft Big Board. I have decided, since there are 30 picks in the first round, I'm going to do my top 30 overall for my overall rankings of all the positions, and that will be my final video. Probably going to do it on Sunday. I'm a little bit busy tomorrow, but I should have it done by the end of the weekend, so that's pretty much it. See ya. Point guard, so today I'm going to be doing my shooting guards, and I believe this shooting guard class is a little bit deeper than the point guard class, but go ahead and start with my number 10 shooting guard, and I've got the 6'5" Kansas product, and that is Wayne Selden. So Selden's been putting together